Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Senator Tuberville, Senator representing Alabama, and how Schumer outflanked him. Wait, since it's going to become very evident that Tuberville doesn't know anything about the military, he got through the coach's defensive line. If you don't know what's been going on, Tuberville's been throwing a temper tantrum, holding his breath, and holding up the promotions of more than 300 officers. Why? Because he wants to take away rights from people. It's really what it boils down to. You can frame it however you want. It has to do with reproductive rights. And he's using them as leverage. Now, he decided, according to reporting, that he was going to push through the Marine Corps Commandant's promotion yesterday. Well, the reason is that position has a lot of political clout, and he got tired of taking the heat for it, so he was going to go ahead and get it through. Schumer decided to push through the chairman of the Joint Chiefs instead. So this way, Tuberville doesn't get to come out and say, oh, I fixed the problem that he by himself created. He doesn't get to do that now. The Army Chief of Staff and the Marine Corps Commandant will go through today, I think, at the time y'all are watching this. But it takes the senator's, quote, victory away. Now, it was important to get the chairman of the Joint Chiefs through. I get that, because the current chairman leaves in 9 days? The end of this month. So that was an important move, and getting through the service chiefs, yeah, it makes sense. But there's still hundreds of other officers who are having major issues right now because of Senator Tuberville. So they may have to move them through one at a time. They don't want to do that because it's a giant hassle, takes a whole lot of time, and there's a lot of other things that should be legislative priorities. But that may be what they have to do, because even after this, the senator representing Alabama, he claimed victory. He said, we called them and they blinked. They blinked by doing something they're mandated to do. And it appears that he doesn't even have a problem with them doing it one at a time, which makes it very clear this is just about obstruction. It's just about trying to grab headlines. He disrupted the lives of hundreds of officers and their families and U.S. national security for headlines. That's what happened. He threw a temper tantrum. He held his breath, stood there and said, no, I'm not going to do it. And it appears that Daddy Schumer came into the room and said, well, that's fine, son, but you need to go do that in your room. And they will move them through one at a time. I can't think of anything more embarrassing, honestly, that this is occurring the way that it is. These officers, their families, they've had their lives totally disrupted. These kids, military kids, most of them don't make friends. Because generally speaking, you move around every few years, every 4 years or so. You don't make friends until you see a kid at the next school that was at your last one. Because then you know, oh, well, your parents, they must have the same MOS, or they're in the same unit, so they'll be moving around. And that's how you make friends. You don't make friends by choice. It's a lack of options. It's those that'll be going to the same locations you will. Their kids go through enough. And right now, their entire lives are just up in the air because the senator doesn't want to accept the fact that women have rights. Doesn't want to accept reproductive rights, to be specific. This move and the fact that the Republican Party obviously was not opposed to any of these individual officers. That's the other part about it being okay to do it individually. It shows it's not a complaint about them actually taking these positions. They're just leverage, disrupting their lives because he felt like it. The people of Alabama, y'all need to take note of this, because if you think that he'll represent you, who do you think has more clout when it comes to the media? Do you think it's the average working person in Alabama? Or do you think it's a bunch of military officers? U.S. national security. If he will use them as leverage and disrupt their lives simply for his own gain, he will absolutely do it to you. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.